For most of Gen 5 Season 2, one burning question has lingered in the minds of viewers. What exactly is going on with Cipher? Ever since his introduction, the character portrayed by Hamish Linklater has hovered like a dark cloud over Godolkin University, manipulating events and pulling strings behind the scenes. His cryptic demeanor, calm voice, and unnerving control over the students made him one of the show's most fascinating and chilling villains. Fans were eager to uncover his secrets, suspecting that beneath his composed exterior lay something far more sinister. Episode after episode, Cipher's motives appeared tangled in mystery, until Hell Week, when the truth was finally revealed. It turns out that Cipher isn't who anyone thought he was. In a twist that both shocked and validated fan theories, Cipher is nothing more than an ordinary man named Doug Brightbill, a powerless human serving as the puppet for the true superpowered villain, Thomas Godolkin, played by Ethan Slater. This revelation, though long anticipated by sharp-eyed fans, still managed to feel jarring in execution. The groundwork for this twist had been quietly laid across earlier episodes. Viewers had speculated for weeks about the mysterious burnt man kept alive inside a hyperbaric chamber in Cipher's residence. And now those theories have finally paid off. Doug Brightbill's life before Godolkin took over paints a tragic and oddly mundane picture. Before becoming the unwilling host for one of the most dangerous beings in the Gen 5 universe, Doug was simply a down-on-his-luck man scraping by. He had a cat named Buster for company and drove a red Honda Civic that doubled as his home after losing his job at Blockbuster. It's a small human detail that adds a strange poignancy to the horror. The idea that a lonely man living on society's margins could become the vessel for such unfathomable. Godolkin's story, meanwhile, stretches back decades. According to the information revealed, he suffered catastrophic burns during a disastrous laboratory incident at Project Odessa in 1967. What exactly happened that day remains hazy, but the accident appears to have been tied to Compound 5 experimentation, the same volatile substance that gives soups their powers. It's heavily implied that in the aftermath of the explosion, Godolkin either ingested or was exposed to a new form of Compound 5, granting him psychic manipulation abilities and an unnaturally prolonged lifespan. Whether it was desperation, ambition, or pure survival instinct that drove him, Godolkin began using these newfound powers to invade and control other bodies, with Doug Brightbill becoming his most recent and perhaps most enduring host. Through Doug's body, Godolkin has operated undetected for nearly 2 decades. This means that every sinister action attributed to Cipher, every decision, every speech, every experiment, was the handiwork of Godolkin himself, using Doug like a puppet. Doug, in his own haunting words, confirms the horrifying truth. No, there is no Cipher. It's just him. There's only him. The revelation reframes everything the audience thought they knew about Cipher's motivations. What once seemed like a man conducting grand moral experiments on soups now becomes something much darker. The desperate machinations of a powerful entity trapped within a frail, borrowed shell. The implications of this discovery ripple across Gen 5's narrative landscape. For one, it explains Cipher's inconsistent throughout the season, oscillating between empathy and cruelty, order and chaos. It also raises new questions about the extent of Godolkin's power. How many other bodies has he commandeered over the years? Was Doug merely the latest in a series of human vessels? And if so, what became of those who came before him? The timeline suggests that Godolkin may have taken over Doug around the time Marie Moreau was born, roughly 18 years ago, which could mean he has been orchestrating events surrounding Godolkin University and its students since long before the series began. Marie herself, played by Jazz Sinclair, now finds herself entangled at the center of Godolkin's grand design. Over the course of the season, she has learned to wield her blood-manipulating powers with increasing mastery, from resurrecting her deceased sister Annabeth to healing Polarity's severe brain trauma. What Marie believed to be Cipher's mentorship now takes on a sinister undertone. Godolkin was grooming her all along, shaping her into the key that would restore his broken, burned body. In her attempt to save her friends, Marie unknowingly completes his plan. Believing that Cipher could help them escape their peril, she uses her powers to heal him, not realizing that she has just resurrected Thomas Godolkin himself. The emotional gravity of this mistake is profound. Her compassion and desire to help have been exploited in the cruelest way imaginable. Once revived, the true Godolkin wastes no time revealing the depth of his corruption. In a horrifying display of power, he commands a low-level student to strangle himself to death, proclaiming his intent to purge the weak from among the soups. His rhetoric mirrors that of a eugenic tyrant, obsessed with perfecting the soup race through violence and domination. It's clear that his long-term goal extends beyond Godolkin University. He envisions a world where only the most powerful soups survive, subjugating both humanity and their weaker counterparts. His cold utilitarian logic makes him one of the most frightening villains in the boys' universe, even more so than Homelander, because his brand of evil is calculated and methodical rather than impulsive. Meanwhile, the show leaves several tantalizing mysteries unresolved. We still don't know the full extent of Godolkin's psychic influence or whether he has other puppets operating under his control. There are hints that Sister Sage, Susan Hayward, may be entangled in his schemes, either as an ally or another victim of his manipulation. The way Godolkin interacts with her suggests a shared intellectual understanding. Perhaps she recognizes his power and seeks to harness it for her own ends. Alternatively, she may be playing a longer game, waiting for the perfect moment to turn his ambition against him. Whatever the case, her involvement adds another layer of tension to an already volatile situation. The penultimate episode also reinforces one of Gen V's most enduring themes, the corrupting influence of power. Godolkin's survival through decades of pain and secrecy mirrors the broader moral decay that defines the world of the boys. Every advancement in superhuman ability seems to come at a terrible ethical cost, and Godolkin embodies this contradiction more vividly than any other character.